I'm defending my country from becoming...
How? By burning someone's book?
No. No, by informing citizens here about the Islam problem.
Man to man? Don't tell me to shut up. You understand?
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut
Let
up.
me finish.
Let me dignity.
Most of the
Hey!
times-
Don't tell me, hey!
Most of the
Don't tell.
times-
Hey, we could cut all this.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haqq liyuzhirahu 'ala dini kullihi wa kafa billahi syahida. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu la nabiyya ba'dah. Berjumpa lagi dengan channel saya Mars Techno. Saya doakan semoga semua sahabat dalam keadaan sehat selalu. Pada video kali ini kami akan menampilkan bagaimana keberanian seorang pemuda Amerika Serikat yang berasal dari kota New York yang datang secara khusus ke Norwegia untuk menemui dan mendebat seorang pria yang sangat fanatik bernama Lars Thorsen. Pria ini pernah membakar Al-Quran di muka umum. Nah sahabat, mari kita saksikan saja video selengkapnya dan saya akan sedikit mereaksinya.
So this earth, right? The country of Norway or anything that has borders on it, it's because people have taken rule of that. But if you really boil it down, all of this, the trees, the earth, the sun, the moon, everything belongs to God. Would you agree?
You have to distinguish here between God and Allah, because that's
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not only making an opinion, that's a falsehood as well too. I'm saying for God, forget if you don't want to use the word Allah, that's okay. But I'm saying, are you telling me that the earth and everything in it doesn't belong to God?
That depends on whether the individual, for example me, believes in a God.
Now we're talking. There we go.
If you don't believe in a God,
You don't believe in a God.
I haven't commented on
I could tell you don't believe in a God because a person who believes in God wouldn't behave this
I
way.
will have to correct you because he said the world, the whole planet belongs to God.
Yes. The one true God, the God of Abraham.
Yeah,
The God of Abraham, the main
the
God.
problem is that the Quran is quite clear.
See, you keep going back to that, but you avoided the question. Don't avoid the question.
I'm answering the question.
Okay.
And the answer is that there is not only one God. There's several gods.
Oh, so you're saying there's multiple gods?
There's the Christian God, and there's Allah. And
Time on. So you're saying there's a Christian God and then there's Allah, right? So is there a Jewish God?
it's the same guy as the Christians, except that the Christians are basing their moral ethics, their behavior on Christ.
Okay.
And
So what's wrong with that?
nothing. That's fine.
Okay.
But I wasn't finished to emphasize the distinction between God and Allah, because the Quran.
No, that's your distinction about it. The word, what does Allah mean?
This is the second time you're stopping me from.
No, because you're making something that's not true because you don't even know what Allah means.
That's semantics only. So you're trying to distract.
I'm not.
You're not.
I think it's pretty obvious who's distracted.
Let me finish. You keep interrupting me.
Go ahead.
The Quran, chapter 109, verse 1 to 6. If you read that, you'll find that.
Okay, apparently we have a hafiz of Quran over here, guys. Yeah.
So it says that you have your God, we have our God.
See, that's where you see my friend, listen to me.
we don't
Listen,
worship
Larry.
the same God.
Listen, Larry, hold on one second, right? When you're talking about this right now, even if you're going to quote something and you're going to make a summary of something, you got to make sure you're doing the correct way, otherwise you look like a bozo.
Okay.
Can't do that, right? Because he's not saying you're God. You have your way of life and we have our way of life. And it is talking
We don't worship the same. That's what
The
it
word
says.
is deen used, Larry. It's deen, Levon. That's what's being used, not God. That's not the word that's being used over here. So you're putting your own interpretation in something, and you're literally looking like a bozo right now.
Fine.
Yeah.
But you could also say that the ethics of Islam
Go ahead.
is the opposite of.
Be kind to your neighbor is a wrong ethic.
That's the non-Islamic ethic. But
How so?
because the ethics of Islam derives from it's based on 100% on Allah's will, the Quran.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So Allah has commanded us to be kind to our neighbors.
only the Muslim neighbors.
False.
We can,
False.
This is,
No. That's not a debatable thing. That's false. Because when the Prophet Muhammad was asked about who has rights over you and what neighbors have rights over you, he commanded almost as far as your eye can see. And it wasn't specified that it had to be a Muslim or not. This is your interpretation so that you can twist something in your direction, Larry.
anything. I'm just reading the Quran loud here because
You're not.
The Quran commands Muslims to hate non-Muslims.
It does.
Yeah.
Where does it command? Okay, several. So tell me one of them.
No, but you know.
Can we get his face just so we can look how ridiculous he looks?
There's how many 3,800 verses or something.
Just by quoting a number doesn't make you an expert, my friend. Okay, so you don't just have to say 3,000 some hundred. That's a sort of tactic that you're using to sound more of an expert. Tell me those several verses that call us to hate other people. Go ahead.
I don't remember them.
But yet somehow you remember that it's something that indoctrinated within you. How about the fact that you have hatred towards Muslims? Why? Why so much hatred towards Muslims?
Allah commands you to hate me, and you
Really? Where? Okay, show me where.
And you have this doctrine of hate. Allah
Still hasn't told me where.
in the Quran.
Where? Okay, you say in the Quran it has 3,000 some hundred verses. Go ahead. Tell me where. You're saying it's commanding you to hear.
You know this is true because you know the Quran. So you're just.
So you're saying that I know this is true, right? If I knew this is true, I wouldn't be debating this about you. I know that this is a falsehood. Absolutely not. I wouldn't waste my time with this right now.
Okay.
Right now, you've done a great.
Give me time. I'll find it.
Oh, so now you're gonna Google stuff.
No, but I have some
He
stuff.
has his in his notes, guys. While Levon over here is trying to like look for this over here, guys, be in mind that this man is burning a book that he doesn't even understand himself. He hasn't read it himself fully. With a true, sincere heart, he's already here trying to make distinctions, but doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just pulling up his notes, trying to see where's verses where we're commanded to hate certain people, when that's not even the case. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ never preached that, never commanded that whatsoever. But you know, this man over here, you know, he wants to promote that sort of stuff. So we're gonna wait. Go ahead.
4101. Kafir is a clear enemy for you.
What's a kafir?
That's a filthy infidel.
What is a kafir?
A kafir is a filthy infidel.
You see, this is once again exposing the fact of how ignorant this man is. That's not what a kafir is.
That's fine.
No, that's not fine as in that's SQ's opinion. That's not what a kafir is. Kafir comes from the root word of someone who actually digs and hides things. It is a person who knows the truth, understands the truth, and still decides to cover the truth. So when you call someone a kafir, it is talking about the people who recited the ayahs of the Quran. They understand the language of the Quran. They believe that he is the messenger of God and there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, and still they deny it. That's different from an average person that's different from a person who's walking has no idea of what Islam even is. You see, those are different things. That's not a people of a book. You see, once again, you're proving your ignorance.
The people of the book, which you are commanded to fight, 929.
Okay.
Until we submit and pay jizya or are killed.
Well, if you live in this country, do you pay tax over here?
I do, but I don't.
You do pay tax.
But I don't.
And in the tax, they take care.
Islamic State.
Time out 1 second. If you're in the country of Norway, you're paying tax. Correct?
The jizya is not an ordinary citizen tax. You know that.
What is it?
It's a tax.
We have someone who's in fiqh over here. We have a master qadi over here, a sheikh over here. Tell us, what is the jizya?
It's a tax imposed on non-Muslims who live in a country occupied by Muslims.
And what do you get in exchange for paying this tax?
You get protection from the Muslims, so the Muslim don't kill you.
No.
You do, and
No.
when you, for example, if you lose your job, you lose your income.
Where did you learn all these things? Like, who's teaching you these corrupt sort of like these interpretations of things? Who's your teacher? Who's your teacher? You're learning this from someone, huh? The Quran, the same Quran that you couldn't quote, and you made a different sort of argument behind it. That same Quran.
I can quote it.
You quoted clearly incorrectly a little earlier before.
No, you're trying to
I'm not.
mislead.
I'm not misleading anything. You guys can. Listen. You're being exposed in 4K right now, Larry. You gotta understand. I'm not doing anything. You're making yourself look like a fool. I don't gotta do that, bro. You understand? You're quoting things and interpreting things according to how you want to do it. The truth of the matter is, you want to spread hate. So if you're talking about the Muslim versus you, who's spreading hate? Let's really be honest over here. Who's spreading hate? You or I? You're going and getting someone's book and burning, or is it us who's doing that? You're saying that we're doing something, yet you're the one promoting hatred towards Muslims as well too. When did you realize that you were a child and you wanted to grow up to be a racist?
You have to.
When did you realize that?
You have a bunch of questions, machine gunning questions. It's very hard to answer you.
When did you realize as a child that you wanted to decide to grow up and be a Quran burner? Like, did you have, like, people want to be astronauts and engineers when they grow up. You wanted to be a Quran burner. Tell me more about that.
That's that's your.
It's like a child dream of yours. It was like you wanted to, like.
It's not. We have been doing a political activism for 19 years before we burnt our first Quran.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But you're not burning any other book besides the Quran.
We are stop Islamization of Norway.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's.
So you hate Muslims?
No, Muslims and Islam is two different things.
What's the difference?
The difference is Islam is a mindset. It's a complete way of life. It's a political system. It has its political system with
doesn't know what he's talking about.
War,
so what's a Muslim?
War doctrines. It's 164 verses about jihad.
Once again, you're quoting here, trying to sound like an expert. No. You're trying to number drop to sound like you're some expert. You ain't an expert, homie. Let me ask you this. You're saying there's a difference between Islam and a Muslim. Yeah. What does a Muslim mean?
Muslim is someone who submits to and follows the tenets.
Masya Allah, sebuah keberanian yang luar biasa dari seorang pemuda Muslim Amerika Serikat ini. Mendebat pembakar Al-Quran asal Norwegia. Terlihat betapa picik atau double standarnya mereka dalam berargumentasi, terutama dalam Islam. Seolah orang yang ahli dalam Al-Quran, pria ini mengutip ayat suci Al-Quran dan menafsirkan dengan seleranya sendiri. Dia memotong ayat Al-Quran lalu menafsirkan sendiri sesuai dengan keinginannya. Misalnya pada ayat, sesungguhnya orang kafir adalah musuh bagimu. Balik ditanya pada orang tersebut, apa maksud kata kafir? Pria itu dengan gelagapan menjawab, artinya adalah orang yang kotor. Namun diluruskan oleh pemuda Muslim ini, dijelaskan bahwa kafir berasal dari bahasa Arab yang artinya menutup diri. Manusia yang mengetahui ajaran Islam, faham akan kebenaran ajaran Islam, tetapi dia tetap tidak mau menerima Islam atau masih non-Islam. Itulah makna dari kafir. Di kesempatan lain, Lars Thorsen ini juga menyebutkan bahwa saya dan Anda menyembah pada Tuhan yang beda. Ini dia dasarkan pada surat Al-Ikhlas ayat 1-6 yang menyatakan bahwa Tuhan itu satu. Tidak ada yang setara dengan Tuhan. Tuhan tidak beranak dan diperanakan. Ini sangat berbeda sekali dengan Tuhan yang ada di ajaran Kristen kami. Menurutnya Tuhan kami adalah 3. Kita menyembah Tuhan yang berbeda. Nah sahabat, mungkin ini saja sedikit video reaksi dari saya. Mudah-mudahan bermanfaat bagi kita, menambah keimanan bagi kita, bagaimana menilai dan mensikapi orang kafir yang double standar dalam menafsirkan agama Islam. Mudah-mudahan bermanfaat. Wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.